The biggest pool of taxpayer money in the world is a giant magnet for fraudsters. In the United States, there is nothing much bigger than the $2.8 trillion Social Security Trust Fund. But even by those immense standards, the sheer audacity and scale of the crime we are covering today is truly mind-boggling. This is the story of how a small-town attorney orchestrated the largest Social Security fraud in history, running up a bill of $550 million. This is the insane true story of Eric C. Conn. Conn was operating in the economically devastated landscape of Kentucky coal country. This was a region where thousands of jobs had been permanently lost, and countless residents were forced to rely on disability payments just to survive. Disability insurance is a key feature of the Social Security system, designed for people who have worked and paid into the system long enough to receive benefits. The rules are strict. Applicants must demonstrate that their disability prevents them from working in any capacity and is expected to last at least 1 year. But Eric C. Conn saw this desperate need as a perfect opportunity. As attorney Ned Pillagedorf noted, Conn had a brilliant business design. Conn advertised himself aggressively across the region as Mr. Social Security, saturating the local airwaves with commercials and plastering billboards with his image. He promised the truly disabled population he could win them the necessary payments that they struggled to secure on their own. Conn quickly amassed a remarkable track record. For lawyers practicing disability law, compensation comes as a percentage of the claims they win, capped at $6,000 per case. His supposed success rate was a staggering 99%. By 2010, his success had catapulted him to dizzying heights. Conn was the third highest paid disability lawyer in the entire country, pocketing $3.9 million from the Social Security Administration that year alone. But Eric C. Conn was running one of the most elaborate cons in modern history. The secret to his impossible success was not legal genius or meticulous preparation, it was corruption. Conn was funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal payments to Social Security Administrative Law Judge David Dougherty. Dougherty didn't judge the cases. He merely rubber-stamped the claims brought by Conn. This systemic corruption ensured that legitimate rules regarding disability were completely ignored, building Conn's massive $550 million fortune on lies. What Conn was definitely not telling his clients or the Social Security Administration was the fraudulent foundation of his empire. When the scam finally came to light, the scale of the destruction Conn wrought became horrifyingly clear. Social Security immediately suspended disability payments to some 1,700 recipients, throwing hundreds of families into desperate straits. These were often people who were truly disabled and relied on those benefits to survive. The human cost was immediate and devastating. Leroy Burchett, a former printer and truck driver, plagued by debilitating pain after 2 spinal surgeries, who had hired Conn as a last resort. When Leroy received word in 2015 that his disability checks would be cut off due to Conn's fraud, the pressure became unbearable. His wife, Emma, recalled how everything was gone and her husband was consumed by complete panic. The panic quickly took a dark turn. Leroy became erratic, yelling, cussing, and throwing things. After his wife wrestled a gun away from him, he stormed outside, pulling another gun from behind his back in front of his children. He stated, "I just can't take this," and shot himself in the chin. In the immediate aftermath, Eric C. Conn eventually pleaded guilty to a 2-count federal complaint involving stealing from the government and paying illegal gratuities. However, while awaiting sentencing, Conn fled. He was sentenced in absentia to 12 years in prison. Conn was finally captured later in Honduras. He is currently being held without bond pending additional charges related to his escape. The corrupt administrative law judge, David Dougherty, who admitted accepting $609,000 in bribes, pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts and is now serving a 4-year prison sentence. But for hundreds of Conn's victims, the nightmare endures. Attorney Ned Pillagedorf is part of the legal team trying to help these shattered lives.
Pillersdorf uses social media to post updates, noting that one of his main reasons for doing so is suicide prevention and letting these people know they are not being abandoned. The Social Security Administration and its watchdog agency are actively trying to ensure that nothing like the Conn fraud happens again. John Grosso, a special agent with the SSA, confirmed that large-scale cases often lead to changes. The agency has stiffened penalties for disability fraud against facilitators, including doctors, lawyers, and third-party representatives. The SSA is also collaborating more closely with law enforcement, analyzing claims data that signal potential fraud. Furthermore, Congress increased funding in 2015 for the Cooperative Disability Investigation Program, allowing teams to be established in every state. Despite these efforts to strengthen the system, Agent Grosso remains very confident that people will continue attempting to defraud the system, possibly even on Conn's massive scale. He summed up the enduring threat with 2 words: American greed. If the opportunity is present, people will seize it until there are clear consequences.